Because you don't do a weed smoking song with an ass shaking song.
Yeah, again,
you know what I'm saying. But if you're gonna do an ass shaking song and a person who, arguably to me, I feel like had the best verse on the song. You know what I'm saying? And the longest verse on the song because that's his song. 3 6 loses this round for one reason and one reason only. No. You got to. First of all, on the actual song, it was Al Capone.
Okay.
You could have actually, again, Al can't come out and do that.
But no,
even if you would have brought Terrence out there with him, I'm gonna tell you why though. You can't say, oh, they played the song and he didn't know his words for the song. Go back and watch it.
Oh yeah, I see.
He didn't know, so you can't do like.
But you gotta give him some leeway. He an actor,
no. In which he should have acted better doing the verse.
Welcome y'all to another edition of the Presidential Executive Podcast. This is actually a special recap edition of the Verzuz battle with 3 6 and our beloved also Bone Thugs and Harmony, y'all. But you know what I'm saying? I had to represent. I got the M-Town shirt on. You know, I got the M-Town shirt on. You know, just to kind of, just to represent. Because I believe this was just for me. We actually haven't even got into it personally talking about it because I wanted to wait till we got on here to really, get into it. But I thought it was a celebration of the city, that night on December 2nd. And it was good. It was good. What it do, right? What it do, man? I want to welcome you first. My bad.
Yeah, no.
What's up,
good,
man?
You good? I mean, we talked off camera about it. From a I guess you probably had more to say about it than I did because I expressed to you, and I was disappointed in both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like so, but now with that being said, no, with that being said, like 3 6 1, like they kept their composure the whole time. Like for the song selection, I think was better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so.
Okay, we'll get into it. Before we actually get into the song for song recap, y'all, I want to say right now, please, if you're looking at this, go ahead and subscribe, like this video. Also, we got this good merch that the Prez is putting up right there. We got the executive mindset, shirt right there. Ding. Okay.
Man, you got to think like an executive, man. Keep that executive mindset.
And then we got the presidential status, the certified presidential status shirt. Bow. So we're actually will have those available. If you actually will want them, I'll put the email down there. But we'll have it, for others here soon. So we just want to, plug our own stuff for the moment. So again, y'all, go ahead and subscribe and like this video if you haven't already. So drums, please. With this Verzuz battle between 3 6, we had Bone. It was a lot of build up. It was a lot of build up to it. It was a lot of fans. I mean, clearly, even on the preview that we put out, to me, it was a lot of Bone fans commenting on it, and it was like, I think they were correct. Oh, this song wasn't on the Art of War; it was on something else. It was one of the whatever. But it was a lot of Bone going on, which I'm not surprised because of Bone was more nationally, internationally known.
You got to understand, like, and Memphis people, we are homers, and it was a comment I think you posted on or tagged on. I'll say something about it at the end about don't think we forgot about that. I'll talk about that at the end. So I'll touch on that at the end.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I mean this respectfully as possible, but like in response to the comment that you said, like the way I feel inside to those people is like fuck you.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm an objective Bone Thugs fan.
Okay.
So like I said, we got our ass kicked, figuratively and literally. But
it was bad.
With that being said, and I saw some stuff our guest from last episode, Velly, commented on like. And I was seeing it, like, and I don't know what Verzuz that other people was watching, but the people who are not from Memphis, majority was saying that that Bone won. You know what I'm saying?
I did.
And again, so like I said, I feel like it's more an objective thing, and of course, anytime Memphis we get to jump on a Memphis bandwagon, we do it. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was an interesting night. I thought I was back here actually that same night. My Cowboys were playing. My Cowboys were playing that Thursday night too. So I was double taking. I had the Verzuz on the big screen. Then I had on my laptop. I was watching the game, and so they had some DJ competition in the beginning, and I wasn't, I guess, a fan of that. I was like, whatever. I just got to wait to watch it. But even then, to me, this is just for me. Just even the setup of it, because we know it was in L.A. L.A. is. You would probably say more homey for Bone, just because easy discovered them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they had that whole thing going. And so now in the DJ competition, they did play some Dolph. He played a little Dolph.
Right.
Maybe he played one Project Pat record or something. But mostly it was a lot of West Coast stuff, right? And so for me, I'm looking, and then after the DJ battle, they had just the regular DJs to warm up before the actual show.
Right.
And so they was playing pretty much all West Coast stuff, right? And so, and I'm thinking, I'm like, that Slick kind of warming them up toward Bone. You know what I'm saying? Because DJ Unique and stuff, they kind of, that sound, that's pretty much a distinct West Coast sound, right? And so even before, I was like, man, they trying to prime it up. I'm trying to prime the crowd up to be, ready for those Bone records. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, with that, I felt, and our boy Mike Scott was there because he lives in LA out there. He was actually live at the Palladium, so he actually was there, and he was pretty much on the same thing, thinking the same thing. And so that happened. And then Fat Joe came out to introduce them, and just, this is just me too. I'm looking at, even to me, Fat Joe had a more bias toward Bone. Right. He even said it actually a little bit because, I think they all were on relativity
that was on the same
records and Loud and stuff. And so, but he said Bone was like, like his big homie, because he used to open up for them, back in the day and stuff. And so he was more, he did a more lavish introduction to Bone, in my opinion, then 3 6, he said 3 6, whatever. He did what he do. But to me, I could see the bias with Fat Joe. And so they did the coin toss and they asked one of the Bone, I don't know which one, it wasn't Busy. It was Lazy Bone. Lazy Bone and DJ Paul or something, heads or tails. And so basically, Bone won the toss. And so they were flipping to see who would go last. Whoever won the toss would go last. And so Bone won the toss. And so 3 6 had to go first. So when all that stuff happened, just the whole atmosphere and stuff, right? I was pretty much ready at that point. And so now we're just gonna kind of get in the rundown of it. And it's hard to even get on the rundown of it because it was because you gotta watch it live to kind of see. Because if you just look at the songs, I mean, you could do song for song, but then it was the energy with the song, and how they came out, how it was presented, and what was said before they did the song, and all that stuff. And so, it's still fresh enough where I got that in my head to where how I felt when it happened, and then we can just individually do it. We can just go through the songs, and then I'll give what I, if I thought they won that round or if you did, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're more versed in some Bone songs than me, because some of them songs that Bone was doing, I wasn't too familiar with personally. So let's just get into it right now, y'all. This first round here, the first round was, obviously I said 3 6 went first, and then Bone went last because Bone won the coin toss. So 3 6 come out first with the, who run it, you know what I'm saying? They start out with that. And like, for me, this was interesting. I was like, dang, they're gonna come out with, who run it? I'm thinking that was gonna be one of their middle round songs or something like that. So I was like, oh, they coming out swinging. And so they did that, and then Bone came out with No Surrender. Speak on that, Rag. What you think about No Surrender? Because I forgot about that song, honestly.
No, that as far as like having a similar type of energy, you know what I'm saying? Especially like at the end, you know what I'm saying? Like if you listen to the song, number one, you can see where a lot of these rappers now kind of got their influence from, in that. But I would say, for me, the biggest thing was it wasn't so much the song that 3 6 did, it was their energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I felt like, okay, we coming with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a live show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not to spoil, but the energy that they brought on that song, they did not bring for the remainder of the show.
You talking about Bone?
No.
You talking about 3 6?
3 6.
Okay,
like when they came out, it's like I felt like I was back at the D.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like when Crunchy was up there bucking and everything, like I'm like, okay, we about to see.
Right.
And with that song, with No Surrender, like Bone kind of came out, you know what I'm saying? With their, and if you're not familiar with them, it's kind of like
I didn't like it though.
Well, no, this is what you got to understand. It was kind of like do you remember when they did that tour with Rockefeller and Rough Riders?
Yeah. And
I can't remember what the name of the DVD is, but they had a DVD of it.
Yeah.
And so they were comparing Jay-Z and DMX.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like you got two dudes from the same hood, but one of them is like that grimy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the other one's like laid back, cool, get the girls. Like, so in that sense, it's almost like why you couldn't have a versus, between Jay-Z and DMX. Because the style of the music, DMX is that gritty, aggressive, you know what I'm saying, hype, energy. And Jay-Z stuff is more cool, laid back, you know what I'm saying? And so like Bone's delivery and stuff like that, they're not the hype jump around.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know if anybody knows how to rap, but when you rap that fast, it's very hard to be animated and moving around and jumping and everything like that. And just for context matters, if you remember MC Hammer, nothing he ever said was super lyrical or tongue twisted. Like his stuff was basic lyrically.
It was pretty
but you got to
basic,
remember how much he was moving on stage.
Yeah.
And he did not stop dancing the whole time, which is why his raps were like the way they were, because you can't do both.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so my thing is if you think about it, the best rappers with 3 6, 2 of them are dead.
Yeah.
Like the best two, Lord Infamous and Coop,
Right.
are no longer with us. Rest in peace to both of them. And then they really didn't have boo rap that much on a lot of stuff. So Paul and Juicy, you can be hyped like that because you're not tongue twisting. Yeah. You're not doing nothing so dope, word play. Oh, you made me think. But like I said, round one, if we doing it like a boxing match, round one, 9-8 in favor of 3 6.
Bow. I feel the same. It was a run out for me. Like I was like, they came with with the notes. That's not one of my favorites with Bone. So let's go with this round 2, man. Round 2 here is 3 6. Again, kind of surprised me because they came out with the Tear the Club Up. Right. You know what I mean? The Tear the Club Up 97. So I was like, and then when I look back on it now, it was kind of a good strategy because you just coming out throwing all your haymakers. And then I was just like, what they gonna do with that? I'm like, are they gonna, this is what I think. We can get into it here soon, but I didn't think Bone responded to what 3 6 played. I think they already had a list of what they were going to do.
And they didn't deviate from that list.
Right. And they didn't make adjustments. Like we were just talking about Penny off camera. Right. Talk about making adjustments.
In-game adjustments.
Yeah, I don't think they made any adjustments when they saw 3 6 coming out with these hammers. You know what I'm saying? And then 3 6 played Tear the Club Up. And then Bone Thugs played Body Rock. Which
again, it's not a bad song. Yeah,
I like Body Rock. I like Body Rock. But as like you said, I thought just even the energy, like I don't think that was even like a tongue twisting type of song.
Well, and this is the thing though. So, and you're right, it's not as much as some of the other ones. It's a time when we both been to fighting before. We both have gotten into a lot of fights, right?
Yeah.
So it's a difference when you're fighting somebody like if you're fighting your big brother or something like that, and you want to get up on them, you might you might try to box with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to, get up. He might try to box with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you really don't want to hurt him. But you know what I'm saying? It's a different strategy. Whereas it's a complete stranger, you ain't trying to square up and box. Like you just trying to, you throwing haymakers, you kicking, stomping, elbowing, whipping it. So it's like, you got to know your competition. And I think that Bone kind of came up like, okay, let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's
spar a little bit.
Yeah, the Marquise of Queensberry rules.
Right,
We're boxing, and anybody who's a boxing fan know that all boxing matches go under the Marquise of Queensberry rules. Yeah. But we're sitting up at certain rules. We're squaring up. We're doing this number. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're doing this mess. You know what I'm saying? And 3 6 just they ain't guarding the face or nothing.
Right. They just coming
You know what
out.
I'm saying? They just coming in. You know what I'm saying with the haymakers and everything. And so now again, I will say that the first 2 songs, it was kind of, I'm not gonna say it was even, but they did a good job as far as like keeping, you know, and going forward. But if you smoke weed, then you know who is the king of weed smoking song. Right, nobody, right. And I put money on it. Ain't nobody got more songs that you can smoke weed to than Bone. But in terms of like rocking a crowd show, and I don't know if you
Snoop up there.
He ain't got as many as Bone.
He up
like
there,
trust me.
He up
trust
there.
me.
He up
I'm
there.
telling you. Like he mentions weed more, but I'm just saying like that vibe, like even when we was watching the video off camera where they was dancing to and everything, they have that vibe of it's just like
I agree because they harmonize.
Right. And think about how many movies where like when somebody got ready to smoke weed in the movie, they were playing the Bone Thug song.
Yeah.
You know, on Set It Off. You know what I'm saying? Days of Our Lives when they was on the roof. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And even the song, well, we'll get to that, but even the song that was slow dancing on, that was a weed smoking song.
Right.
The weed can't get no bed. Like, but that's what Bone does. But to your point, it wasn't the most tongue twisting song.
Yeah. And they were and I don't know if this was the song that they literally, or maybe it was the next, they kind of maybe it was the next one. But we'll get into it. But one of the songs they got together, like there was a choir, Bone Thugs on stage, and was just like, you know, just like it was kind of weird to me. They kind of got like there was like on a
and I was gonna say now, like did you? I don't know, and don't let's not get this twisted because as much as we're saying, and I've said it probably more than you, that Memphis people we gonna ride for Memphis, and no matter who we go versus. Oh, it's like Memphis can get their ass with we don't know Memphis won, and we're not being objective. But I will say this though. It's a lot of people in Memphis that mess with Bone. When Bone came here, I believe it was 2019.
Okay.
They're down in Minglewood.
Okay.
Like if you had saw that, like that's the show I thought that we were gonna get at the Verzuz.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then even like I said with 3 6, like again, like I know Boo personally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had Velly on last week.
Yeah.
He knows Paul and Juicy and Pat personally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? While I don't know Crunchy like that, I've met Crunchy.
Right.
You know, when Lord Infamous was still living, I had actually sat down and met him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then got to see these people live. So I'm thinking about D&D.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's where my mind goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just knowing what we about to get.
Yeah. This was my mindset too, coming into it. Like, as far as style wise, I agree with people. Like style wise, it wasn't a good matchup when you're talking about styles, but just being fans of their music. Like I like 3 6,
the soundtrack of my life.
Exactly.
Nigga, when I used to skip school, it's the soundtrack of my life.
Right. And honestly, when I was thinking about this, dude, I was like, honestly, bro, like really from ages, I would say 13 to you talking about 23, 24, you know, these are the times where you literally are becoming a man. From a teenager, like in 3 6 and Bone was literally like during that time period, like between, you talking about 95 all the way up to, you know, 2007, 2008.
Right. You
know, when they put out the last 2 Walk, I think 3 6 did. And so, you know, from that time on, like I remember going into tennis matches bumping this is Bone and big, you know what I'm saying? Getting drunk, you know what I mean? Getting stuff within that. So it was, like I said, it meant something in that vein because whether, you know, you listen to this stuff right now all the time or not, this is what you grew up on. And so this is a lot of songs where you listen to them now, like it takes you back to where you were during this period. Like a lot of 3 6 songs, a lot of stuff going on like that. Like when the Sippin' on Scissor came out, you know, and that was, I knew what I was doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like where I was at, who I was with, you know? So I think this round 2, man, I give it to 3 6. I think you do as well.
Yeah, I would say still again 9-8. You know what I'm saying? I would still say 9-8. It wasn't like it was an ass whooping, but it was like edge goes to them.
Yeah, it was clear to me on that one. So this round 3, we had, now this was different with 3 6 when they came out. hit a MF.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I bet you won't hit a motherfucker.
Yeah. Bam, bam. So when they came out with that, like, honestly, I can't say I forgot about it, but I was like,
that's like one of my favorite 3 6 songs of all time.
True.
This ain't no game. We bring the pain, so don't you hate this trip. And I'm like, so I need the energy. Like, I need you not to just.
Yeah. Like, and that came, I don't know exactly what Paul did in before, but they said some commentary before. Right. And then they put the little track on, because in the beginning of the track, Crunchy said something just on the, on the original track. And so he said something with that. Then they came in like, I bet you won't hit. I was like, oh.
And that beat on that.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I was like, it was, but that was wild. Like, that was one that I knew that was in their chamber, but again, I didn't expect them to play it this early, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So, like we were talking about before, like, at this point, 3 6 is just throwing haymakers, all that bone, just like, look, bring, like, literally daring them to put out their best stuff right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to what I was saying, Bone to me was not responding to the vibes. You know what I'm saying? They were literally like, okay, we're gonna play track 1, track 2, this in this order. I was like, but bro, like, you kind of dealing with a monster here with 3 6 to where you gotta master energy, because the verses is not literally like it's not a lot of people say, oh, they sold 50 million records and 3 6 ain't something, but it ain't even about that. It ain't about
because if we're gonna go off of that, like you said, like it's really not even a comparison.
Right.
Now, if you want to go extended version, but in terms of 3 6, they can't take credit for what Juicy J has done on his own.
Yeah.
So now a lot of people say, oh, well, Juicy got, okay, but that ain't got nothing to do. When some people like, oh, nobody from Bone got with 3 6. No, Juicy has that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I saw somebody made a funny post that was like, they had like a 10 things that were true. And it was like, I appreciate how LeChat clocked out from work and was still able to make the verses on time. Like, so what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Now, I was never with them personally like that, but we know some people. Yeah. And as far as I know, with the exception of like Paul, Juicy, and maybe Pat. Yeah. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, I don't think anybody would want to piss off Crunchy, so I'm pretty sure he's straight.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, the gripe that a lot of people had is the money thing. Whereas I think that Bone has took the mentality of, it was an old Jadakiss line where he said, I'd rather be broke together than rich alone. I think that they've taken that mentality. And so they've all maintained the thing of straight, because it was some stuff where if we all can't do it or we all can't benefit from it, we straight. I'll go do my own thing over here. We'll do, like, when Lazy and Busy put out an album, they didn't call it Bone Thugs and Harmony. They called it like Bone Brothers or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or when these two people did something, they called it something different, because like, no, Bone Thugs and Harmony is Lazy, Crazy, Busy, Wish, and Flesh. If it ain't that, ain't no just DJ Paul and Juicy J and we 3 6. Right. But because they always gonna eat. Right. And so, like, we weren't comparing the money thing, because like, to your point, that's irrelevant. Right. But again, to your point, like, coming out with it, and that was my song now. Like, that's my song. Now, like, I bet you won't hit them. Like,
you talking about getting a club, getting people to fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you play this.
Somebody was playing that song when I got stabbed. That's all I'm gonna say. That was my song.
Enough said.
That was my song.
Enough said.
And I was fighting 5 people by myself. and maybe that was why I got hyped, because that was my song. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I felt emboldened that I could, the level of ass that I could whoop that day, I was motivated. Right. You know what I'm saying? But no, that was a song. Now, what song did Bone come with?
Bone came out with Look Into My Eyes, which I like. Great song. It was good. Look into my eye, and real good song. And so I thought, just again.
But check this out though. Okay. Now I will give this one to Bone, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Crazy's verse, if you listen to the verse, okay, he starts off saying,
was he able to do his verse?
He rapped. Yeah, he rapped. He rapped first. Okay. He said, "What makes some nigga think he can bite my shit and call his shit original? What's worse, telling people they made the style we put down 3 fucking years ago. That's just like a nigga want to take all the credit. I bet that was directed at them." You see what I'm saying? So like, now that I think is what caused what happened later on to make them mock them, which caused the irritation. But that was the first shot. People think that it started with them. We'll get into that later on. Okay, that's actually where it started at. Because when he did that, I had got up and walked away, and I ran back because I'm like, I know he not finna. Because I was thinking somebody was gonna jump up and do something then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that was like that was a direct shot at them.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I mean, I know you messing with the mic. I see his turn. I ain't mean to get, but I was paying attention though. That was when I was like, oh, something to happen.
That's crazy. No,
and like again, those are the exact lyrics, and he was the first one to rap.
Yeah, that's interesting. See, he's an MC over here, so he caught all of that and stuff with the lyrics. Now, for me personally, I still say 3 6 got that. You know what I'm saying? I think with the hit him, so it was. I
go 9-8 Bone on that one, but still 3 6 is in the lead with so what is it? 18 and 8 is 26 to 16 and 9 is that's wrong.
Yeah, I ain't even doing my math right now. You're gonna do that by yourself. I don't even know what it is. 16 plus 9.
No, 25. Yeah, my bad.
It's 25 though. So okay. So he got Bone winning that third round. I got 3-0, 3 6 after that hit the MFO net. So this next round, y'all, round 4, and I'm gonna go a little faster too, because we're gonna be, I don't want to get too much longer. So, but the 3 6 came out with the Sipping on Scissor. You know what I mean? With the UGK and Project Pat. Now, the only thing that, and I think I was talking to Mike Scott. He was on a live a couple days ago, and he made a point to where he thought Project Pat should have got more shine or should have been out there a little bit more. Me too, because I was like, because he's featured.
Right, he's like an unofficial member of 3 6.
Right, and he actually did the hook on it, and he actually, he ain't got no verse on there. He just did the hook. So I thought he was gonna come out there, kind of do that. But it's, Sippin' on Scissor was a real good song, and then Bone came out with, Buddha Lovers.
Buddha Lovers.
Buddha Lovers,
which was a weed smoking song.
Yeah. So they came out with the Buddha Lovers song. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was clearly I give that to 3 6 easy.
Yeah. Now I'll say I was kind of torn on this one. I was a little torn on. Like I didn't know. I was like, maybe I give it to Bone just to be.
No, I mean that's clearly, and I'm a Bone guy, but right. No, that just was not.
Yeah, I was kind of torn on that, but when I'm torn, being a homer, I gotta go with 3 6.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No, I wasn't torn at all. I wasn't torn at all. I give that one. I'll give that one to.
Okay.
I'll give that one to 3 6 easily.
Okay, I give it to 3 6 too. Okay, round 5 here. Round 5 is. We know this song. Your boy was on this song featured a while ago.
No. They get 0 from me on that. They get 0 from me on that.
They get the A and T.
But you know what? I say this because.
Hold on, you said 3 6 get a 0 on that?
Yeah.
Oh, why you say that, brother?
Because I guess because I know the history of that song and everything.
See, that's what I'm saying. I
know the history of that song, and it's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah.
But again, like, if you gonna bring anything out, guess like that's when you have some girls come out and start twerking. Like, you don't just do that song and it's just regular. Like, I guarantee you, if Juvenile did Back That Ass Up somewhere, it's gonna be some, you know what I'm saying, girls popping up on stage twerking or whatever. Or when the remix that they did, vax that thing up, it's gonna be some people with some syringes and jumping out and everything. And people wearing Pfizer shirts and whatnot. But no. So cause again, and you are like, I don't even want to get into that, but I feel like if you was gonna do that, you should have, brought certain people out.
Okay. So,
because it ain't no hate on my end, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna do that, then you should have. Cause technically, if we being technical, that's not y'all song. And you already know, like that ain't my best friend or nothing like that. But if you being technical, that's not y'all song. That was a song that was already popping.
Yeah.
In the clubs in Memphis.
Yeah.
And we ain't even gonna get into all of that. But if you're gonna do that, then you bring the person who.
I can see that. But that's a bumping. The A&T, that's always been bumping to me. So I disagree with you on that. And Bone played Days of Our Lives. They played Days of Our Lives.
Which I think was a bad match for it. It was not a bad song, but it was not a good.
It wasn't a good match.
Comparison.
So, and for me that night when I was looking at it in real time, again, I had 3 6 winning this round, and so. What you saying? It sounded like you got
nobody won that round. They both got disqualified.
He said they
both got a flag on the play. Because you don't do a weed smoking song with an ass shaking song.
Yeah, again,
you know what I'm saying. But if you're gonna do an ass shaking song and a person who, arguably to me, I feel like had the best verse on the song, you know what I'm saying, and the longest verse on the song because that's his song.
He did.
You think about it. The longest verse on the song is the last verse, but that's whose song it is. The chorus of the song, he's on the high. That's him on doing the high. That's his song. If you're going to do that, have that person on the song. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know he couldn't.
Regardless of what, it don't matter. Regardless of what, like that's a whole nother conversation for another day that we may never have. But at the end of the day, I feel like you should at least shot the invite out to him or gave him a shout out or whatever.
They may have.
Keep in mind, like that ain't my Ace Coon Boom. But right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm gonna call it like it is.
For sure.
And I think that Bone fucked up by you come follow that up. Now, and Bone don't have no ass shaking songs.
No, but that was my thing, bro. Like to me, I thought, I mean, we're gonna talk about it now. Like they did a lot of stuff in here that didn't make sense to me. Again, they never responded to a record. They were just playing records. And then they never played First of the Month.
Dude, they never played First of the Month. They never played Bill Collector. You remember that song?
Yeah, I remember.
Because they sampled that the Coming to America. Yo, Rinse, dude, mother at the end. Dude, it's some something like, and keep in mind, I've had every Bone album ever made.
Yeah.
So it's songs that was off Crazy Bone album that they could have done. You know what I'm saying? They had songs off the Resurrection album they could have played.
Yep.
You know, they had songs off the album they did where it was just Busy wasn't on that one. Yep. It was called Strength and Loyalty that Swiss Beats produced. And they did do one of the songs, and I know you're going to get to it later on, the In the Trunk song. Swiss Beats produced that one. But I'm like, why didn't you do the one, The Streets with will.i.am in the Game on it, which is like one of the best songs on the album?
Right. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they had something, like if you're gonna do one with singing on it, you should have brought out, they called a White Bone. They called Phil Collins Chrome Bone. Right. But you could have brought out Phil Collins. Why not get Akon?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna do those melodic ballad songs, like one of your more recent big songs, you could have brought out Akon. I tried so hard, right?
You gotta add somebody else too.
You know, why didn't they do It's an Everyday Thing when you let your nuts hang? Because if you remember when people started putting the hanging balls on like the vehicles back in the day, like you know what I'm saying, like that they started doing that like on the back of people's trucks and stuff, and they had the balls on. Because that was that song. That song is an everyday thing. It's like people started doing it.
Yeah, see again. So as a
matter of fact, in the movie CB4, that's actually where they got the song "Sweat from My Balls" from in CB4, the Chris Rock movie. Okay. That was like kind of a play on that Bone Thug song.
Okay, that's interesting there. See, again, I give that the 3 6.
No, easily. Hold up, what are we talking about?
That round, A&T.
No, they both got disqualified.
A&T versus Davis. I'll say you got
they get disqualified.
You had disqualified.
I threw a flag on the play.
Okay, flag on the play. So round 6. I'm gonna go through these a little bit faster here because we are going through time here. 3 6. They did the Riding Spinners with Lil Flip. Bone did.
I forgot. That's why Flip was. I forgot.
Flip was out there, and Bone did Bump in the Trunk.
Right.
They did Bump in the Trunk with that. Now, like this is me. I had 3 6 on this.
I really wasn't a fan of that song though.
Okay.
Like that I think was in a time period when everybody was trying to have a song like that.
Yeah.
And to me, I would say that was the first time that Bone actually matched what 3 6 was doing.
Yeah.
Cause like so in the one song you got talking about spinners, and then the next song you talking about the Bump in the Trunk.
Right.
That's the first time they actually matched it.
True.
For me, I would say it's a draw.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you why though, because Bone is already laid back, and I'm not saying that's an excuse. But after I would say probably the third or fourth song, like 3 6's energy started to taper off, which I don't think it's an excuse for that, because even though you only had Jay, Paul, Crunchy, and Boo, You could have done, and I'm gonna tell you the perfect example of a Verzuz. If you remember the Locks and Dipset,
yep,
they had a period where they were letting Jada get the shine.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then they had a period where like people didn't know Sheik was as bumping as he was. And they was letting Sheik get his shine. So being that you're known, being from the South, Atlanta admits that they got the crunk music, and even trap is a child of the crunk music from 3 6 and the people who were affiliated with them, the Kingpin, Skinny Pimps, Player Fly, Gangster Black, like that crew and everything like that. I feel like, so because we're known for that. Okay, on this song, Juicy, you gonna do your, if we're doing 2 verses, all right, Juicy, you gonna do yours. And that's where the editing comes in. Yeah. Because they've been talking about this verses for months. Yeah. Y'all are producers. That's what you do.
Right.
You can make a show CD where it's like you got the hook, bam, Juicy, you come in. Okay, I know Paul normally comes in, but then we're gonna let Boo rap after you. All right, next song, Crunchy, you start off, then we're gonna have Paul come in. Next song, we're only doing 1 verse. Paul, you had the best verse. We're going to let you come in. But again, 3 6 Mafia, like, keep in mind, you had the Hypnotized Camp Posse. You had the Prophet Posse. You had all these people, Killer Clan, Kazi, who Pat was with and everything. Yeah. Man, you got all these people. Man, what is T-Rock doing? I'm just saying. I'm not hating. I'm just saying. You don't think T-Rock would have showed up?
Right.
You know, you don't think K-Rock would have showed up? You don't think MC Mac, Scan Man would have showed up? You like all of these dudes and people that you had. Like I said, you had LeChat, but granted, Chicken Head was a good song, but like if you're gonna do a song that's not y'all, Paul or Juice or nobody was on Chicken Head, why ain't y'all do Gorilla Pimp?
Right.
Like any song off of freaking Mr. Don't Play or Get It Green.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like for me, even though if we're just going for a song basis, to your point, may have been a better song, it was the performance aspect that, and that's y'all's thing.
Right. So you had Bump in the Trunk on that.
I'm not going to say the song. I just mean from the essence of it.
I got
you. I'm not saying, but I say that one was a draw.
Okay. Bet. We gonna now, I believe it was, okay, maybe after this round, that's where all the shenanigans kind of started. So this round 7 here, they brought Boo out. They had Boo, where them dollars at. Then they had Bone with the Resurrection. You know, for me, I had 3 6 on there because I had Gangsta Boo. Even though I like Resurrection, you know, paper, you know, but I thought 3 6 took that. What you think?
This is gonna be controversial. And first of all, let me say for the camera, let me look into the camera, let me look into your eyeballs. First of all, let me say that I love Lola Mitchell. That's like big, that's big sis.
About to say, like, don't do it.
No, not like that. Not like that.
No. I'm saying, don't do it. What you about to say?
Yeah, no.
It's gonna get back to Boo.
Yeah, it will. But that's big sis. Like, and this is verifiable. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can call people right now and put them on speaker. They know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like she used to let me drive the Escalade. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, she didn't let me keep the Escalade. I was running errands for her, but you know, and myself as well. You know, like I made some stops in between going to get her stuff, but she let me get the key and didn't check the gas tank. You know what I'm saying? Like to this day, when she sees me, she says, "That's my nigga Roche. What's up, my nigga Roche? My nigga Shay, what's up?" Like that's how she greets me to this day.
For sure.
I love Boo. With that being said, I would still say that performance aspect. Now song wise, I think again, Where Them Dollars At is a better song, but I just think that the energy, performance, because again, I'm looking at all of that. I'm not just going like, oh, okay, this is a better song, so this wins because you played this song. Like you can play a dope ass song, but if you just kind of going through the motions, you know what I'm saying? And remember the video. You know what I'm saying? She's in the video getting it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people didn't even know, like, oh, she cute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not just a hood girl. Like she can, turn it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So to me, this again was another draw, but for that reason, not because it wasn't a good song. It's a phenomenal song.
Right.
I just think it was a draw because all of that matters. And in terms of staying in their lane, that's the only consistent thing that Bone did. They brought the same level of energy. The only person who was hyped out of Bone really was Crazy.
True. Okay.
And I think we about to get into the shenanigans, and then I'll say what I got to say about that.
I want to get into the shenanigans real quick, and then we're just going to kind of run through the rest because we are going a little bit over the we ain't going to run through. We're going to still comment a little bit, but I'm saying.
We're not going over. This is a Memphis episode. This is a Memphis episode. This is a recap episode. Y'all knew what this was going to be.
Okay, so round 7. Okay, I still had 3-6 on that. So for me, when all of this stuff happened, now after this round 7, I believe that's where all the stuff happened, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, I'm looking at, in my eye, this is 7-0, 3-6 already. You know what I'm saying? How I
okay, now you're not just being fair, but it's cool.
Yeah, to me, it was 7-0.
You're being Homer. It's not all.
At the most, it might have been 6-1. But the one I said I was torn on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whichever round that was, okay? So at the most, 7-0 for sure. And so now after this, that's where the whole Busy came in, because actually maybe on this round when they did this, I think 3-6 was on the other side. DJ Paul had Gangsta Boo's hand like dancing with her, like they doing some ballroom dancing to Bones music, you know, because that was the type of vibes that they were giving, you know, kind of like singing ball, you know, that type of stuff. And so Busy clearly did not take kind to that, right. And so. Which, on the other hand, I get it. You know, I get it. But then, like for me, and I did say on social media, like, okay, we didn't start this stuff, which is true. But when Juicy said SMD, that's what said it all.
What is SMD?
He said.
I know. Yeah, I know you're not gonna say it. That's why. I
was gonna have
shout out to the Preacher Man podcast, where all podcast platforms are available on Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and what's the last one? Because you always say that one.
Stitcher.
I don't know what that is,
Stitcher.
But like he always makes sure, like if you
Google
notice
it.
on every video,
Google
like when
it.
you say that, I be grinning because I don't know what the hell that is.
I know,
but
like,
you make sure you say that
Stitcher.
Stitcher, and you announce it.
He thinking stitches. Or something
You're enunciating every word. But yeah, shout out to the Preacher Man cast. So for those of you all who don't know, for my parents, for Pastor Moss, for all of our elderly people who watch it, that means suck my genitalia, as I like to say it when I'm in a professional setting, just so y'all know, so y'all learn something. If you tell somebody to eat a phallus, most people don't know what a phallus is, but that's a dick, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you tell somebody to eat a phallus, or somebody says eat a phallus, they're telling you to suck a dick.
Fellatio.
But yeah, so that's what Juicy said, and so continue.
So when he did that, bro, like honestly, if you watch Verzuz, you seen back and forth banter. You seen the Locks and the Dipset. They did a lot.
Right.
They teetered on that edge, but they never went, as far. Like, but Busy, his voice and his tone, you could tell he was serious.
He was irritated.
Yeah, he was real serious about this. He wasn't just like playing like ha ha. He was like, nah. And then when Juicy J said the SMD, that's what everything set off, and he threw a towel or a bottle of water.
Yeah, no, it was a microphone and a bottle of water. Yeah, he threw the microphone and a bottle of water.
Wow, okay. So I thought it was like a towel. I didn't know it was a microphone. He threw the microphone, and then actually Juice came up and he threw a punch. I don't know if he connected. Right. I don't think he connected.
I mean, they say that like from the way it looked on the camera, but it's a difference when you get hit and you're standing face to face as opposed to you retreating and getting hit. So he might have connected. Be like, oh, he jawed it. No, if he was running, it's not the same. Yeah. If you've ever been in a fight before, and everybody been in a fight, and so if that happens to you, and I'd be like, oh, you got your ass whooped. Don't be like, no, bro, I hit moved. No, I don't want to hear that shit. He might have connected, but it wasn't as serious as we making it just because we rap. Look, and two things we learned.
Okay.
Number one, just because you ain't going, don't mean you can't get your ass whooped. Number two, you can't take Memphis people anywhere. So two things we learned from that. But with that being said, and again, Bone is my guys, but I feel like if you're going to do that, when it does pop off, whether you're taking your meds or not, stand there and deliver that ass whooping or stand there and take that ass whooping. It is what it is. And I look, and I'm the type of nigga, if I see Bone, I'm trying to take a selfie. I'm trying to get an autograph. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know their real names.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know Crazy Bone name Allen Henderson. Dang. You know what I'm saying? Lazy and Flesh are brothers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When they say them House boys, their last name is House. You know what I'm saying? Busy, Byron McCain. Like, them my dudes.
Wow.
But at the end of the day, though.
Okay.
At the end of the day,
if you're going
to start it, finish it.
Yeah.
And don't get it twisted. Like I love celebrities, but as one, I think we talked about this last season, as one celebrity who I went to high school with, he's well known UFC fighter. You know what I'm saying? I will talk that shit to like you gonna have to take me out.
Right.
I ain't no bag down in me. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like I'll take that L. Yeah. But you gonna hear me or you gonna see me whether I win or lose. That's just what it is.
And when DJ Paul was one of the first ones,
right? Like you can throw both hands. Come on, man.
But look, Paul a real one. I give it to him. Even though he got that little hand on the other side, he was the first one to get up there. Just like, look, I got my right hand though. You know what I'm saying? like,
you know, we not gonna. You know what? But like, and it's a
Paul
reason
a real
why,
one, man.
Yeah, I mean, but
yeah. No.
I would say this was the moment that, at this point, when a lot of people were saying that this is the best verses ever and everything like that.
Yeah.
At this point,
it's up there, bro.
This is the way. This is why. But see, but again, when you say a game was a good game, it's not a good game because it was a blowout.
Right.
It's a good game because both people took their best shot and the other team won. Case in point, who is your football team?
The
Cowboys, them boys. Who is my football team?
Niners.
Now think about it. Back in the days when we was at the top of the league, the NFC Championship was better than the Super. And was it ever a blowout either way?
No.
Most of the time, it wasn't decided until the fourth quarter. Right. So if we're being objective, it was, and we haven't done all the songs, but it was some, like when they played certain songs, no matter how you felt about it, if you're being objective, when they pull that song out, hey, you got to give it to them.
Right.
They got that one. I'm rocking with Memphis, but they got that one. On the flip side, if you're a Bone fan, like I am, like I've said, when they pull certain songs out, and I listen to more Bone than 3 6. Like with 3 6, I had certain songs I rock with. So every song that they played, I rock with every single song that they pulled out, except for Ryan Spinners. But I rock with every single song.
And I was
the
opposite of you. I listen to way more 3 6 than Bone. You know what I'm saying? So we have that going. So the shenanigans and the fight happened.
But this is where it died to me. Okay. At that point, it just kind of, I think 3 6 leaned more heavily on the features at that point. And,
you talking about after the fight?
Yes, and if you and I know you're gonna go back with the songs, but if you go back and watched it, if you watch Lazy, at that point, Lazy was doing a lot more politicking in between every song. It was a lot more. Oh man, we need to smoke, because I can't remember what song it was where Crunchy actually came and handed him the weed in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like
allegedly weed. Like I heard it might have been something else.
But I'm just saying, like, he was doing a lot more, and it was a couple of times like Busy was out and he was walking towards that way, and Lazy came and jumped in front of him. Because at that point, their mindset now is like, we're not doing this show no more. We trying to make sure it don't be a straight up fight.
Right.
And keep in mind, I don't know Busy's life, but it's a couple of dudes with Bone that didn't do something that. And again, I ride with Memphis. I am Memphis. You know what I'm saying? But like, let's not get it twisted. Like Flesh did a whole 14 years of being on the roof with the AK. You know what I'm saying? On some Tony Montana type. Like that's what they did. Like you talk to people in the industry. They've never specifically said Busy. They just said them collectively. And I think that the Crazies, the Wishes, the Lazies who were more on the business side of it. Like, well, let's get this money. They didn't react because it's like, we trying to get this bag.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? So, but to me at that point, I think that's where it got more Bone was. Let's make sure something don't happen. In 3 6 at that point was just like whatever.
Okay. Cool. We got to wrap it up too. No. I'm saying we over the 40-minute mark. I don't want to shut down and then having to do the thing now. So
this is a Memphis episode.
This round 8 here. We got go quick. Popping My Collar. Bone did For the Love of Money. I love Popping My Collar. Especially, again, as I said before, I thought Pat should have came out.
That would have made it decisively 3 6.
Did his verse.
Which was the best? Which was the best verse on the song?
Yeah, if he would have came out, I was like, perfect. Now, this clearly I thought was Bone. Okay, so you agree? Or would you? Okay, round 9 here, side to side, and Crazy Bone riding with Chameleon there. Okay,
yeah, I get that one to Bone.
I get that one to Bone too. I get that to Bone again. Project Pat was on this song.
Again,
you know what I'm saying?
Didn't I say that earlier, though? They should have brought
right.
out some of whoever had the best verse on the song.
Yep.
Because when you're doing a show, that's what you do.
That's what it is. Again, so I'm with you.
And look, hold on. Let me say this. I know we on the time thing, but some of the people who've done the videos, like our guy Mike Scott, Mikey Christian, like y'all know how many shows we used to tear up. Now tell me how many times we'll go somewhere and depending on the crowd, it's times I wouldn't even touch the mic because I knew that Ryan and Mike and Vic them, y'all gonna rock that.
Right.
It ain't about me.
Yeah.
Like what is gonna get we trying to sell these t-shirts and these CDs and stuff too.
Right.
So if they feeling REV more, I'm a cut back. Mm-hmm. It's some other times like it was an older crowd, like we're not finna have Victim rapping. This is more of an older crowd. Like, okay, y'all gonna do one song, but I'm gonna do about 4 because this is my crowd.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so now what is T-Rock doing? What is, like I said, Pat, like y'all brought out Pat for freaking Chicken Head.
Yeah. And that's my thing, like, and we don't know, but I'm thinking like, was this a 3-6 decision? Maybe Pat was like, man, I don't really want to do too much.
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying? They could have been that. So, but again, like I said, I thought they should have brought Pat on this, but they did the riding. Clearly, I thought that was a ran for bone. The round 10 here, bands will make her dance.
Mm-hmm.
Bands will make her dance. Now they had that with the Little John song. It's really because Crazy Bone was just a feature. He was like one of the
so the song is only that particular song. It was just him and Mystical.
Yeah, him and Mystical. Yeah,
and so they did the hook, and then they did Crazy's verse. Now, if you were gonna do the whole song, which I think you couldn't because the hook is so long.
Yeah, the hook is like
Lil Jon's album, like the hooks always be like a minute long.
Yeah.
So it ain't no way you could have had Mystical come out too, which I think really would have just made it a KO for that particular round.
Right.
Because Mystical ripped it. But I will say that if you remember the video, like when you heard it, you're like, oh man, Mystical back.
Right.
And then Crazy came in and it's like whether you rock with Bone or not.
He killed that.
Y'all niggas ain't ready for this shit.
He went out. Now, but on this round, though, he brought Lil Wayne out for Bands Make a Dance and brought the stripper out.
Right.
And with the money. For me, this is what I look at. With a versus, like if we look at standalone Bands Will Make Her Dance and Lil Jon, and what does I'll probably give it to Lil Jon and Bone and them. But how Juicy came out with the bag, he had the stripper.
Right.
Had Lil Wayne out.
Right.
Lil Wayne, to me, I think it's harder to get him to come out for a versus. You know what I'm saying? Just because
but he just was on the stage. Did he rap?
He rapped.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I remember seeing him on the stage. I can't remember like
he had a verse on he was featured on that. So I give it a 3-6. Would you say?
I would say that was a tie for me.
Okay,
that was a tie for me.
Okay.
That was a tie for me.
Bet. Next one here, our boy Project Pat with the chicken head. Now, and to me, they set my boy Pat up because they did the chicken head, but then it went against Thuggish Ruggish Bone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna win that. You know what I'm saying? To me, that was a Bone.
I would say, to be honest, and again, like I'm a Bone guy.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that's the only song them bringing Pat on, my issue with the song was number one. The way they did it, they only did like one verse off the song. Whereas like with Chicken Head, they damn near did the whole song.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They went back and forth.
Right, yeah, they did. They damn near did the whole song.
Yeah.
And they only had like Crazy's verse on Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I think like, again, you really didn't have Flesh that much rapping. He wasn't on Thuggish Ruggish Bone, but like, you could have had Wish rapping on the song. Right. And this is, again, where the editing comes in.
Yeah.
That's y'all's DJ.
Yeah.
Y'all can cut it up to where at least, okay, you know what, Crazy, Wish y'all do it, or Busy, late, however y'all do it. They didn't do that. And I think they relied too much off of Crazy, who, to me, people like Busy's voice and he light skinned. But if we're being objective, the best one is Crazy.
Yeah, I like Crazy.
Like, hands down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But, like, I just, like I said, it's close. I would say
who you gave it to,
like if we was rating it on like an NBA 2K or something like that.
Okay,
like you got 98 and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would say the half maybe like you said because Thuggish Ruggish Bone was one of they, joints or whatever. But
I probably gave it to them because it sound like
and they should have played that earlier.
Right at this point, it seemed like they're trying to fight now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what it is. Round 12 here. Now this is just a Juice song, really. Zip and a Double Cup, him and Wiz.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bone did the Bud Smokers Only. They did that song. So, and honestly, for me, I wasn't even that familiar with the Juicy J and the Wiz song, the Zip and the Double Cup. But when I heard it, at that point, if I had to go from that song to the Bud Smokers Only, I have to give it to Juicy and them, a 3 6. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go with I can't argue with you.
Round 13
which
here.
Again, I felt like they should have did that earlier or instead of some of the other weed smoking songs. That was a more faster weed song than which again, you see all their songs is weed smoking.
Facts. Round 13, we got International Players Anthem, which was a classic. A lot of people, not Memphis people at least, you know what I'm saying, didn't know that, you know, 3 6 actually produced that song, and actually it was a Project Pat song, you know, on his album. And then Bone did Thug Love with Pop.
I'm gonna tell you why I get at the Bone, and it's not even close because you didn't bring that. You know, because you so you don't have the best verse on the entire song. Everybody knows that. So I typed the text. So now maybe you couldn't get 3 stacks.
Yeah. But they played that verse actually.
You know,
but he wasn't.
But he's
there,
living.
So, yeah, I feel
it ain't like with the Pac thing. He's around.
I got you.
He's accessible.
I'm with you.
You didn't get Bun.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to say I think Paul rapped on it.
Yeah.
I think it was Paul that rapped.
And Juicy did too.
But yeah. Y'all got verses that nobody's heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't
that.
think Bun would have came out? Now maybe you couldn't have got 3 stacks.
Right.
I believe you could have got Bun. Like as much stuff as they did together.
Right. I think
you could have got Bun.
I think they could have got Bun.
You know what I'm saying? And so now in that instance, then I think it would have been more in their favor.
I had,
but now Thug Love is like it's a classic.
Yeah, you can't.
And that's when they let Flesh rap.
Yep.
That's the only time they let Flesh rap. They let him rap Tupac part.
So I give Bone that, man. Round 14 here. Now this is the one again. They brought Duke Deuce out. You know what I'm saying? Fellow Memphian. A lot of people that are not familiar with him, but he's a Memphian. I think a lot of people think he's from Atlanta. You know what I mean? Because he do all the Crunk stuff or whatever. But he's from Memphis, and they did that Crunk Ain't Dead remix, and then Bone did the East 99. Now with this one, I don't know if you heard the Crunk Ain't Dead the remix. Pat got the best verse on that. They didn't bring out Pat on this one.
Right.
Hoolery, good one. Like Pat went clean.
He went off.
He went clean off on the Crunk Ain't Dead remix, and I thought they should have brought Pat out and kept Juicy verse out. Right, yeah. Kept Juicy verse out. Let Deuce say his verse first, and then let Pat
come in.
End it. Now that would have gave me a different vibe, but East 99, you can't really fool with that.
My issue with that is, and again, I give it to Bone, but my issue is you could have let Flesh rap on it. You let Crazy come out and rap. To me, and I'm gonna tell you, but this is why I think Lazy didn't rap. If you remember, you go back and watch it. Lazy kept grabbing Busy and pulling them back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like, if you remember East 1999, like I said, because when they did the show here, like he cut the music out, and like the crowd is. Think about back in the days when the year was 89, little nigga on the grind, got to get mine to my grind with 2 years that are taking my, like everybody come in, like he set it off.
Okay.
Man, hitting up the graveyard shift with real Little Will, Flesh Wally, and Wishbone. Lil Wally, he set it out. He didn't do his verse though because he's trying to hold beat. And that's why I said it kind of went down because at that point, every song just about 3 6 did was all features. And Lazy didn't rap no more because he was trying to hold, I think he rapped on Crossroads at the end.
Yeah.
But he was trying to hold Busy back. And it was a couple times like you see Busy like walking, vibing to music, and Lazy, he's on the mic talking, but he's grabbing him and pulling him.
Yeah.
And then everybody else, Wish and Flesh, is keeping their head on the swivel because like when it did pop off, you know, Busy was like throwing the rock and hiding the hand.
Yeah.
And everybody else was like,
yeah.
So clearly, you know, like, would you want to run up on Wishbone in the dark alley? I wouldn't want to run up on Wishbone in the dark alley.
No.
I'm just saying. Flesh, we know what he about. Did 14 years. I'm just saying. But I give that round the Bone. It's like I said, with a asterisk because of the disappointment.
Yeah, if they would have brought Pat on that, I would have gave it a 3 6, no doubt. I ain't gonna lie. But East 99, I give Bone on that. What was that? Round 15. Round 15. Not actually. This is the one where Wiz came out. It's Air Day. It's called Air Day with him and Juice on it, and then Bone played the Notorious Thugs. And so, I think it's clear here that Bone won this round.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, that's like to this day when people hear that song, that's just an iconic song. It is what it is.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap on that. Notorious Thugs gonna win it. Now, round 16 here is interesting. Maybe the song, but to me it was kind of clear. Stay Fly and Mo Murder with Bone. Now, to me, this was an easy win for 3 6. Let me tell you why. They brought out Ball. They brought out A-Ball, MJG, Young Buck, and on MJG's part, dog, he went off. Right. You know what I'm saying? Had the little day. You know what I'm saying? He just.
But that's what I'm talking about. The energy. That's what should have been.
Yep.
The whole show.
Yep.
But now I will. This is what I'll say.
But the receipt.
So no. I'm not arguing with you. This is what I'll say. Okay. But it wasn't a. Oh shit! They just kicked their ass on it.
On this round?
No. I mean, just Mo Murder, and that song is one of their better songs.
Yeah,
I feel like they should have did that earlier.
Yeah, they should have brought that maybe the third or fourth round.
That should have been earlier.
True.
That's one of those songs that you can play that
respond.
You see what I'm saying? Exactly.
You respond
and
to the
you
vibe.
could play that like if you're trying to get a Memphis nigga on Bone, that's the song you play. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them weed smoking songs, like it ain't. But you play that song, you would have had Memphis niggas on Bone. That wasn't a bad song selection. It just was bad for that to go versus that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they were playing some of their earlier weed songs, they should have played Mo Murder.
Exactly. That was my point, the whole thing.
There's another. The last song on the East 1990 album, they didn't play. Ooh.
I forgot about that.
Killer.
Ooh, I totally forgot about that.
Pop, I didn't think about giving that. Them shots to the double Glock, pop, giving them shots to the double Glock. Like that's now the features wasn't on there. You don't have to have the features. You can just use y'all verses.
Yeah, y'all got.
And all of them ripped it crazy, busy, wish, flesh, lazy. They all ripped it on that song, and that was one that should have been like with First of the Month and Bill Collector that they didn't do.
So. Give 3 6 that one for sure. The energy that MJ and A-Ball brought was crazy. Now, this is the one I think you had some commentary about here. Round 17, Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Bone played Friday, which I don't know, but that's the name of the song.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: like 3 6 loses this round for one reason and one reason only. No, you got to. First of all, on the actual song, it was Al Capone.
Okay,
you could have actually Al can't come out and do that.
But no,
even if you would have brought Terrence out there with him, I'm gonna tell you why though. You can't say, they played the song and he didn't know his words for the song. Go back and watch it.
Oh yeah, I see.
He didn't know, so you can't do like.
But you gotta give some leeway. He an actor,
no. In which he should have acted better during the verse. You play tennis. If you do a good shot, but your foot on the line, does it count?
It don't count. No.
If it bounces twice before it hits the other line, does it count? No, it doesn't. So what I'm saying is, if you're in, around here, and he was just constantly
not the whole. He didn't do the whole song.
Man, dude, that man was like,
though.
He was so busy pandering to the people on the stage.
I agree.
And like my thing is like that reminded me of when Kid Rock did the song with Jay-Z at the whatever music awards that was. And all he had to do was them 2 lines, and he didn't know his 2 lines, and everybody's like, the 99 Problems. He brought Kid Rock out for 99 Problems. And all you had to do was say the 2 lines that the police officer had, and you didn't know, and you missed your cue and everything like that. To me, a perfect example of when you bring somebody out to do somebody else stuff. Did you see when LL got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I did.
And he brought out Eminem?
I did.
Whether or not you like Eminem,
he rocked it.
Bar for bar, they went back and forth.
But that's what he do,
literally knew it. But he's an actor too, though, and not to the degree of Terrence Howard, who's a phenomenal actor. He's an Oscar-nominated actor for the movie Hustle and Flow.
I get a credit to 3 6 on this for even having.
Okay, you get credit, but you still lost because he messed the song up.
Okay, so he say like. 3 6 1.
No, man, you can't do that when you, man, and you know, I'm gonna tell you, it was some times we performed in some competitions and we lost those competitions because somebody messed up. Nobody knew you messed up, and you're like, oh, my bad, I messed up. No, you can't do that. But then all of that, we know the song though.
Right. But look, nobody even thinking about him messing up because
they just had. That's what I'm saying.
Right. They stuck on him being out there.
That's what I'm saying. That's like, man, what is that? Man, you had a $1 million move with a 50 Cent finish. That's like when Nick Young shot that 3 and turned around. Everybody like, oh, he turned around and that John rimmed out. That's what happened. You shot a 3 and it rimmed out.
I'm with you, Terrence Howard. I say 3 6 1 that one. Okay, he got boned on that. Round 18 here, we got the Dark Horse 3 6 with Juicy featuring Katy Perry, and then you got the Mariah Carey breakdown.
Yeah, I get at the bone.
You know what I'm saying? Me too. I get at the bone. I ain't gonna say too much more on that. So round 19, you got Half on a Sack 3 6 Bone Weed Song.
Which again, at this point, like how many weed songs is that?
It's at least 6 or 7 that he brought. So for me, I had 3 6 on this. I had 3 6 on the Half on a Sack. What you had?
At this point, like every time Bone did a weed song, I was disappointed. So I'm going 3 6 just by default.
Now, in this last one here, I don't think it's even fair because it's pretty much a toss up. 3 6, Juicy did the Slob on My Knob, which is a Southern classic. It's like should be like in the Trap House Hall of Fame or something. Right. You know what I'm saying? Then Bone played the Crossroads, which you can't necessarily be like.
To me,
they lost that.
I will say that's the only. That is the only that's like when Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon was in a dunk contest.
Right, it can be like
and they did that last room and both of them they just kept getting 10s.
Yeah.
To me,
that's something
like that. If you're going with that song, because they both got different vibes.
Yeah, they do.
So you can't hate on Slob on My Knob.
Actually, totally opposite vibe.
Right. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You can't hate on Slob on My Knob, but then you can't hate on Crossroads either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, man, think about this, man. How many times, not recently, but like, nigga, I've been in the club more recently than you do, and freaking that song, and I've been in the club when they played both of those songs. Right. Not back to back. Right. But when Slob on My Knob come on, everybody does that song word for word. When Crossroads come on, everybody and I miss my Uncle Charles. Like everybody come in,
everybody got Uncle
equally.
Charles. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to say, oh well. Now, if it's a twerk competition, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that song's win. If we're at a funeral, obviously, Crossroads win, unless your granddaddy was a pimp or something, in which case you can play Slob on My Knob. Yeah. But I feel like you can't go wrong with either one. So that's one of the few legit draws that we've had.
That was a pretty much a tie for me. But if you had to twist my arm to choose,
I would still say since we lost count, I still say it would probably be like 10-6, 10-7, 3-6.
Yeah, like at the end of this, and I tried to do it objectively, y'all, a couple times. To me, as a 3-6, as a Memphis homer. Now I want to ask you this too. In Raleigh, right? Raleigh is considered North Memphis, right?
So it's like technically, if you're asking somebody who's from North Memphis, no. But for the way the people draw the maps, yes.
Right. And so
like if you're going based off the map, yes, Raleigh is a part of North Memphis.
Right.
Just like a lot of people like Orange Mountain is his own area, but technically Orange Mountain is in South Memphis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you ask anybody from the Mound, oh, that's Orange Mound. Right. South Memphis is, like Castelia, Third Ward, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, those areas are South Memphis as opposed to the Mound, and then like Bethel Grove also, but Bethel Grove is Bethel Grove.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I brought that up just because, I grew up in Raleigh. We pretty much both grew up in Raleigh. And so, people tell you from North Memphis, and then their mind automatically goes to like Watkins, Hollywood,
Chelsea.
You know what I'm saying? Chelsea out there, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I tell people, it's
Smoky
like
City, New Chicago,
right? It's different vibes. We're from North Memphis, but we're not from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I would say.
Well, no, not Memphis. So.
This is just a quick side note, y'all.
Yeah. Like, so the area of Raleigh, like when we moved, because where was y'all at before that?
We was in 21 the whole time. Right up the street from Raleigh.
Right. So it was different for me because you got to remember, like when we moved like from South Memphis, like I was to go from LMG to that, like, and they used to call Raleigh the North Memphis White Haven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, so black people that had a little money, you know, you're a little bougie out there. Like say you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend from Raleigh. They be like, oh, they must be fine then because, you know what I'm saying? Like Raleigh, that was the way Raleigh at that time. Yeah, Raleigh was popping. That was before Murder 8.
Right.
Like we saw it turn into Murder 8.
Oh, yeah. Quick.
But,
and even
like I said,
toward the end of my high school years, like our house got broken into twice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's when y'all kind of moved.
Right.
So it was different, like I said, and it was a culture shock for me because where we was at in South Memphis, I ain't see no white people.
Right.
When we first moved out to Raleigh,
you saw something.
I was like, oh, okay,
sure. Yeah,
white folks back. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when they, of course, white flight, they move out because there's too many of us around.
So I just wanted to put that out there, man. Like for whatever reason, I can't even think of the exact reason, but I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Because I think I did talk to a North Memphis dude or something like that. And you know what I'm saying? Like where because pretty much Raleigh is Raleigh. They don't necessarily call that I'm going out north. When people say I'm going out north, you thinking somewhere else. You ain't necessarily thinking
Chelsea,
Raleigh.
Watkins, Hollywood.
Right. And when you say Raleigh, you think you're going to Raleigh. So, but anyway, with that now, for me, I thought this was a wash with 3 6. For me, I thought this was easily, 14-6, 3 6. Now, if I was being more objective, I would have said 12-8, 3 6. 12-8. So that's all I got, bro.
No, I mean, I think that like I said, I think that it could have been different if it was a few more songs that they could have played instead of some other ones.
They never responded to the vibes. They just
and then I think they like because you have your list, but then you have your back pocket, and it's like, okay, so they coming with this.
Yeah,
let's hit the back pocket.
That's what the Lox did. That was what Lox did with Dipset.
Exactly. You got a legit DJ up there, so we can come to the back pocket stuff.
Yeah. To me, that was the only reason that you get the coin toss.
Now, in terms of my Memphis folks, and this is going back to what I said earlier at the beginning of the episode. So, like, this is my issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever see people from Atlanta and like, look like, okay, first 48, whatever. Look at the murder rate in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot in Memphis because per capita is not as many people, but it's similar. The murder rate in Houston, in Dallas, St. Louis, and in Baltimore, Detroit, were these predominantly black cities where people are running to, like, oh, let's go here and do this, do that, do that. I ain't never heard nobody from Detroit or even Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That's lit. You know how they get down in Chicago. I ain't never heard nobody from Chicago say, man, fuck Chicago, gotta get out of Chicago, man. This bullshit. I would never raise my kids up here. Man, people from Chicago are proud to be from Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
They say we on that bullshit.
Right.
And I love the Bulls. That's my team. You hear them say that. Yeah. Man, now in the last couple of weeks, we talked about what happened.
I know.
We talked about the tragedy that happened. And shout out to the city of Memphis who we named a street after Young Dolph. So rest in peace to Young Dolph.
Sure.
And so keep this in mind. Like, this is not just somebody like, oh, well, you just look. No. I was a part, and I ain't talked about this a lot because I don't want no pat on the back on that. Right. I was a part of the renaming committee. Mm-hmm. So it's some streets in Memphis that have been renamed. Now, granted, it's not a lot. You know me. I'd much rather have reparations than streets being renamed for positive Memphis as opposed to people who used to own slaves and stuff like that. But I was on that committee. Mm-hmm. Okay? And they could tell, the people who was over that committee can tell you, Our councilwoman, the councilwoman.
Yeah.
I was on that committee.
Right.
Okay, so like you're not talking about somebody that's just a local yokel that just, no. I am about doing positive change in this city, in this community. If I don't like something, I'm not gonna complain and bitch about it. I'm gonna make it better.
Right.
So we had a lot of people. That's why I left Memphis. That's why I ain't in Memphis. And I'm just gonna be real. Right. Like some of y'all doing a thing, but y'all act like y'all owning Fortune 500 companies.
Right.
It's a reason why Fred Smith started FedEx here. It's a reason why Amazon came down here. It's a reason why they're trying to bring a big headquarters hub down here. It's a reason why Sprint is trying to bring a big hub down here. It's a reason why Nike is bringing a big hub down here because us's don't see where we at and how valuable this is.
Yeah.
And so 2 weeks ago, everybody on some F Memphis till Busy Bone throw a bottle,
right?
And Juicy J punch. Yeah, y'all got Memphis. That's what I'm talking about. M-Town. How many times have you gone out of town and you know people who talk about Memphis, don't like Memphis, hate Memphis, but then when somebody step to them out of town, oh, I'm from Memphis, bro. You quick to throw up Memphis then.
Yeah.
You don't disown Memphis then, and then what do people do when you're out of town? Oh man, y'all have a good time out of town, bro.
Right.
Man, y'all be safe out here, bro. Man, you go anywhere, they don't F with you because they know, oh, you're from Memphis. Man, it's really convenient.
Right.
Ain't that kind of like the chick that we downplay? Oh, you ain't this, and this till we get horny, and then all of a sudden, oh, you're everything.
Right.
Message.
Or that's like the homeboy, like, man, you know, man, I don't mess with bro, man. So you get ready to get jumped, and then it's like, oh man, I know JB.
You see, I didn't think we were gonna get into this.
Yeah, but, how many times have you know people don't mess with you in real life till they get somewhere and they trying to get in the door and it's like, oh man, I'm JB home. Oh, they your homeboy now.
Right. That's been my whole thing. I don't know who I was talking to with this about, but I was like, I never downplay my city. Like, period. Like, if we do, it's like it's between Memphis folks. Like, we talking about what's going on in the city, what we need to do and stuff like that. But to outsiders and to other people, like, or even on social media, like, you know, get on social media, you down your home city. You know what I'm saying? You doing stuff like that. To me, I don't like that. I think that's a coward move. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't, to your point, I thought when all this came out, everybody from Memphis. Now, everybody is proud to be, you know what I'm saying, from Memphis, whether you from Memphis, from Olive Branch, West Memphis.
But some of them same people 2 weeks ago was like, man, that's why I left Memphis. That's why I don't fool with Memphis.
Right, exactly.
Let me ask you something. And I know this is going away from the break. What does your son EJ? What does the last mean?
Oh shoot, you put me on the spot. What does it mean? It's like,
and I know it means something. That's why I asked you.
It's like, I think it means man of God. I think it's
what about
like
Tobias? What does Tobias mean?
Something. I maybe look it up now. But yeah, they all mean something though.
So you did not use specifically, so you understand that we said this on the last episode with Velly, but we understand that death and life is in the power of the tongue, that we are the prophets of our own life, that what I speak, I can manifest as I speak it. So maybe something did not happen for me in my city because I kept saying that my city was holding me back.
Right. And Tobias, God is good. That's what.
So my city was holding me back. So maybe I didn't get ahead in my city because what I spoke out of my mouth, I put it out there. So now it got manifested.
And they believe it.
Message.
Not only
and you start believing that.
You believe it, yeah.
Because with me, no. What Denzel saying? John Q when they said his son got, he's like, no, I reject that.
Yeah.
I refuse to be what somebody else calls me. I am what I call me. I am what I believe. Yeah. The only person that can hold me down is me.
Yeah.
It ain't my job. It ain't my city. It ain't my environment. It's like what God told Abraham. He said, wherever you go, you're the blessing.
Yeah. Right.
And you remember him and Lot, they got ready to pick their land, and Lot was like, oh man, you see Houston over there, bro? Right. Man, you see the A over there, man. Let me go over there where it's popping at. Yeah. And then Abraham like, oh man, you in Memphis. And then like that, oh, Canaan, that's the hub.
Right.
That sits in the perfect location. Yes. It ain't about where you at. You are the blessing. Right. Wherever you are is the blessing. So what I'm saying is, and I'm not mad at you if you move because you got a job. I'm not mad at you if you move because you had another opportunity. I'm not mad at you if you move because you got married or went to college or whatever. But if you feel like you did not succeed or you're not doing anything because you were in Memphis, you are the issue, not the city. Right. This city does not have a mystical hold on you. Your own words, and the reason why when you went somewhere else and manifested, because your mindset was, okay, I'm away from my family, I'm away from everything, I gotta make it. You could have had that same mentality wherever you was at.
Perfect. Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
So keep the same energy.
Exactly. Until next time, y'all continue with that executive mindset.
And most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Wow.